welcome back to Life Enrichment with Hank Ballinger. Today I want to talk about the question of what is an entrepreneur. Now that's one of those polysyllabic words, isn't it? Big nickel word. So we want to look at that. What is that? What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? A lot of people probably have a little bit of different idea, different connotation as to what it means, but what does it mean in business? And how can you be an entrepreneur and set goals, achieve those goals? It can be possible for anybody, but there are certain characteristics, no matter who you are, that the characteristics are going to be the same for anybody or any goals they set. You're going to have to work really hard, and you're going to have to think an awful lot. I don't know anybody who has set aggressive goals and achieved those goals that didn't fall into those two categories. You're going to have to work a lot of hours, a lot of hard work, and you're going to have to think a lot more than you ever have. If you can do that, you can be an entrepreneur. But before we get into that, I would like to say again, thanks for watching our channel. Thanks to those who have liked and subscribed in the past. And again, we want to extend the invitation. If you're more than welcome to share with anybody, with friends, family, just acquaintances. We want to get the word out because very indicative of today's topic. We want people to realize they can become entrepreneurs. They can set goals. They can become wealthy, redneck rich. They can achieve those goals. It can happen for them. But you can help us to help them by telling them about the channel, encouraging them, and we would greatly appreciate that. Like and subscribe, share it with others. We would appreciate it. Thank you. Now today, being an entrepreneur is not something that you just do maybe in your part-time or in your spare time, not just something you do on the side as that second job. That's not an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is something you become. It's kind of like some people say, well, I go to church on Sunday. Through the week, they kind of live like they don't go to church on Sunday, but being a Christian is who you become. It's something you are all the way through. Being an entrepreneur is very similar to that. It's something you become, not just something you do on the side or something like a sideline job. Nothing like that. It has to define your character. Now, an entrepreneur, many times, if you're going to immerse yourself in something, let's say you set a goal. You need to be listening to podcasts. I don't care what those goals are nowadays. There is something on the internet or some kind of social media that you can pull up something and find out about that topic. I don't care what you decide to get into, you can find something about the goals you're setting, how to better achieve those goals, pitfalls to watch out for, shortcuts to take to help you get there quicker. The internet is a great tool. Use it as a tool, and it can help you in your endeavors. So be the entrepreneur, something you become. You can be that person. Now, an entrepreneur is a very interesting type person. They're a type person that looks for problems. Isn't that odd? You know, the average person, a lot of times when they see a problem, they get upset, they get aggravated. Some of the first things they do, rather than looking at the problem and saying, well, the first thing I need to do is figure out how to solve the problem. That should be the first thing. But a lot of people in life, when a problem comes up, they turn around and run from the problem. It's kind of like most of us. It would be natural when a building's on fire and burning, we're going the other way. Ironically, a firefighter is the guy that's running towards the building that everybody else is running away from. That's an entrepreneur. Everybody else is running away from the problem, complaining about the problem, dreading the problem, and the entrepreneur, his eyes light up. He sees dollar signs. You see dollar signs in his eyes because there is a problem. and he sees that as an opportunity. That's an entrepreneur. That's what you need to be looking for. Find the problem, solve the problem, and make money from the problem. Now, an entrepreneur looks at the problem, surveys the situation, solves the problem, makes money or currency, rightly called. Now, he or she makes money commensurate to the size of the problem they solve. No more, no less. Many motivational speakers in the past have gone over this. You can watch a lot of podcasts on your phone, motivational speakers talking about this idea. If you find a small problem and solve it, you may be monetarily rewarded, but you will be monetarily rewarded in a small way. But let's look at a massive problem years ago. Years ago, for those who are older, and I may be showing my age here, computers had a program called DOS, Disk Operating Systems. You had to physically command your computer every time you wanted to go from one screen to another. There was no Windows, there was no point and click. You commanded it with commands by knowing which keys to push, and it was laborious. Generally, most people would keep a cheat sheet beside their computer that told them the commands to feed the computer, depending on which screen they wanted to go into. It's very tedious. Well, then along comes Microsoft and Bill Gates, and he says, well, let's have a program called Windows where they just go over here, point, click, and it'll pull the screen up. They want to go into another screen, they go out of that one, minimize it, whatever, go into another one, point and click, go into another one. Easy, easy. He made it easy enough. He took a problem that everybody had, every person, every businesses that wanted to interface with each other. He took that problem and made it easy. And he was richly rewarded for solving that problem. That's an entrepreneur. Now, let me encourage you that not all problems that an entrepreneur may solve is rewarded monetarily. Okay? Not all of them pay dividends. That's a stock term. Not all problems that you solve pay dividends with currency or money. Case in point, young lady here in Richmond, Kentucky, she saw a problem and she said she didn't really agree with some of the ideas that the school system was pushing, and maybe some ideas that was out there in the school system, maybe en masse in America. So she said she wanted to, she just wishes there was a Christian school that young people could go to. So rather than see the problem and keep wishing, she started a Christian school. That's an entrepreneur. You see a problem, you solve the problem. Now, can you make just tons and tons of money from something like that? Maybe, maybe not. But nonetheless, a true entrepreneur doesn't always have to be monetarily rewarded. Sometimes they see a problem, solve it, and it's not about the monetary reward. Sometimes there's greater rewards, in case in point, than monetary rewards. So that is a true entrepreneur. Now, what about as an entrepreneur? When you just start and set goals and easily achieve those goals, I guarantee that is not going to happen. It will not happen. There will be hurdles. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your endeavor is. I don't care how many videos you watch. I don't care how you prepare. There will be hurdles, and some of them are going to be tough. You go over those. You will go under them. You will go around them. Or if you can't do any of the top three, you will go through those hurdles. One way or another, you're going to end up on the other side of that hurdle, but you will be better off. That's the thing about hurdles. After you get past them, you're better off. Your company, your business, your endeavor, whatever it may be, will be better off for you having gone past that hurdle. So don't regret hurdles. Don't look at them as a negative thing. Look at them as a positive thing, because an entrepreneur, they know they're coming and they prepare for them. And when they come, they figure out how to get past them. That's an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur does not let a hurdle slow them down. Here's the ironic thing about an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur looks at the hurdle or the problem and says, the problem is the path to wealth. They don't look at it and say, oh no, this thing is in the way of my path to wealth. An entrepreneur is out looking for the problems, trying to find the problems of the world, solving those problems, and then realizing that is my path to wealth. So I want the problem, I want to solve the problem, and then once I've solved that problem, I go find another problem. Do you realize there are people that their whole goal in life, and many people have done this with many companies, they will start a company. They will start it out small. They will build that company up, and then they do what's called taking it public, which means it goes on the stock exchange. They take that company public, which means that it just skyrockets in value, and that is the intent of their company. As soon as they take that company public and it goes parabolic in value, they sell it. And then they go look for another problem, and then they take this company, after they get it so big, they take it public and it goes up in value and they sell it. And then they go start another one. That is their whole purpose. Their purpose is not to keep that company after it goes public. Getting it to go public is the goal. Then finding another one is the next goal. Taking it public is the next goal. Finding another one is the next goal. And on, and they make a really good living. Could be a goal. Now, a true entrepreneur, we're reiterating point one. A true entrepreneur is that guy. I did a video just a little while back, and it was titled, That Guy. If you can be that guy, you can achieve a lot of things, almost anything you set your mind to. Now, can I be better than Kobe Bryant in basketball? No, probably not. Now, if I can set the terms, yes. Now you say, well, how could you be better than Kobe Bryant in basketball? Well, I set the terms. I greased the floor on his end of the ball court, and I put a cap on the basket, and I tie his hands and feet up. I think I could beat him. Maybe. That's my terms. I can't beat him if we play on a level playing field. I'm not that good. So set reasonable goals. Yeah, when there is a problem too big, an entrepreneur figures out how to dwindle the problem down, cut the problem down to your size. So you can be that guy, but you've just got to figure out what is the best way and the easiest way and the smartest way to become that guy. But you can do it. A true entrepreneur will not stop even after they reach the goal. Now, some people may look out at Elon Musk or Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos or Zuckerberg or any of these multi-billionaires and say, well, why don't they stop? They got all the money they'll ever need. They can't spend it all. Their kids' can't spend it all. True, but that's not now the goal. The goal is to now find another problem. It's not so much that the money drives you at a certain point. It's the idea of entrepreneurship. Now you are a true entrepreneur because you don't stop just because you have solved one problem. If you're a true entrepreneur, you're going to find another problem, solve it. Yeah, you may be handsomely rewarded for it more than you were the first. And you did very well on the first, but you're doing better on the second. But now it's solved. And now you go out and find another problem. Solve it. You may do better on it than you did the first two combined. But you still won't stop, not if you're an entrepreneur. you now have the tools and the capability, you can do it. And your goal now is to just be an entrepreneur, to keep on solving problems. You could be handsomely rewarded, not always in currency or money. So just realize an entrepreneur does not stop just because they've achieved the goal or they have attained a certain amount of wealth. Now remember, redneck rich is your living is down here, your income is somewhere up here, and it may keep going. You keep your level of lifestyle down here until you get your wealth built up. Then you can start raising this, but you do not live above your income. Redneck rich, you keep your expenses down here and you keep building your wealth. And you can become redneck rich. You can become the entrepreneur you need to be. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.